Wassail, beautiful people. So, full moon in Libra, which is the moon following the new moon in Pisces. So it's a kind of Piscean moon, which has got Neptune at home in his own kingdom, been there a long time. Not much going on in terms of, if you look on the internet, Neptune's a very mysterious character, and we will dig more into Neptune. Neptune's the sole depositor of this moon, meaning it's the overall ruler. And this moon has got some really fascinating facts about it. So it's on the 28th of March, and it's at 1848 GMT UTC. And you will notice that the moon is in 8 degrees of Libra, with the sun opposite in 8 degrees of Aries, but also at 8 degrees of Aries is Chiron and Venus. So there's a 3-planet conjunction between Chiron, Venus and the sun, and then there's the moon at the other end. And the energy seems to be about dealing with a very deep heart wound. And I don't know, but I do get the sense that this heart wound isn't like ordinary sort of partnerships heartbreak. This is something way, way deeper, because I was drawn to notice that when Neptune was being named, he was almost called Oceanus, and Oceanus is different to Neptune. Oceanus is the birthing of the waters, Trevi Fountain, and Neptune's much more about the mystery, but it's reminding me that Neptune births at the same time as the waters, because that's where Neptune's realm is. Neptune's also very much gases, magma, oil, all those kind of liquids to do with the earth. So, also as well, Gaia, Uranus, is in 8 degrees of Taurus. So that's 5 eighths. Eights is an energy of change, an abundance of change. So interesting moon. A moon where we're seeking balance. So I've mixed together the Shamanic Oracle with the Moonology. Oh, bells. Sorry. Bells. Because it's Neptune. Neptune's got a rule over this. There was like a mosquito sound hidden inside every bell, and the second bell had that motorbike, suggesting that notion of revving up into something. But there's something, there's like a needle of poisonous fear. It's what I'm getting is Neptune can be delusion and illusion, and Neptune can also be wonderful, buoyant clarity. It's also all those bubbles that rise up, so there's something rising up from the deep. Also, interestingly, we've just had a stellium in Pisces with Neptune, Venus, the Sun and the Moon, and we're shaping up for another stellium very shortly in Aries. So we're stretching the energy tear from the stellium way back in Aquarius, starting with Saturn. And then there's also the fact that Jupiter's about to enter Pisces, and he's another of the rulers. So the two rulers who get on really well, Neptune and Jupiter, will very soon, I think it's around mid-May, 12th, 14th, or something, I believe, enters there. So then there's another kind of party gets started, and then for a sort of year or so they'll get closer and closer and closer until Jupiter passes. So there's a conjunction coming up. So there's very little about Neptune. So let's hope as we move on we can find out a lot more about Neptune. Anyway, to the cards. You hear me cry. I hear you cry even. Stop talking and shuffle. Okay. Right, so we are looking at some information, please. If you know, if Neptune, I was just going to push the bowl back and a card's fallen to the ground. Many paths. It just immediately, it's just saying, it's just a reminder. It's 3, 4, it's a 7. It's just to remind us that with the full moon, everyone has their own path. We all have to find our own way to our own truth with these energies. So I would say, have a look at where Neptune is in your chart and see which house it's in and see whether Neptune likes being there and what kind of influence Neptune has there. Remember, that's how Neptune was feeling when you were born. Now see how Neptune's really, really happy because he's at home. And think about the journey that you would need to make from your energy at birth that you think rules this issue to moving to being really happy with anything that's happened to you. Because Pluto's let it all go. The problem with Pluto is Pluto likes putting the energy on us. So, oh, there you go. Look, very Neptunian. That's interesting. Because I've got this bit of a face-off going on in my head constantly at the moment between Gaia, Uranus, Pluto and Neptune. It's like they're up to something in a grander scheme. But I don't know what that is yet because I haven't found it in the energies of the charts because I spend all my time on my own just looking through all these charts. So they're my friends at the moment, the charts. So this is very Neptunian, flow. We've got to flow with this moon. We've got to really try and connect in and bed in to what this moon is doing. Remember, it's bringing about a kind of an ending, but that ending won't happen on the moon. It's almost like the energy of the moon, the full moon, will bring you the direction for the next 2 weeks. And remember, the next 2 weeks will include this portal that's opening on the 4th, which is going to be interesting. You have to go back to the first Neptune reading. I think it was Neptune. So, what else would you like to tell everyone, Neptune, about this moon? Maybe the moon would like to talk. So, it's really very, very beautiful. It's the beauty way, and I was like, what's the numerology? 420. Say no more. So, flowing towards the beauty way, that kind of wonderful energy that Neptune is offering. So, what we're going to do, it's now made clarity in my head. We're going to look at each of the planets and what they're bringing to this mix and what it means together. So Neptune saying flow on your beautiful path towards your beauty way, towards your transformation, towards your blooming of your sacral. I'm really being told sacral flower. This thing that's in the mouse hole in the other readings. Have a look at those too if you need to. There's a gift coming towards us from Neptune at the moment, and it's got something to do with reaching a balancing point with this full moon in Libra. So all the 8. So let's begin with, what's the moon's message, please? What's the moon's message, please? What's the moon's message? What's the moon's message? What's the moon's message? Okay, so we've got 3 cards. It begins with show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. It's reminding you of the energy that you picked up in the stellium, that the planets keep picking up every time they go through Aquarius, this repeating energy, this increasing energy. And then we have, oh, look at that, that's gorgeous. So we've got 5948, and they're not saying anything about the numbers, I'm just telling you. Upper world and the sorcerer. There's deep magic behind what the moon is bringing towards you. If you connect with the moon and remember to show the world the real you, I want to say show the moon the real you. So let's throw a few of the Muse tarot down just to see what the continuing energies are there. It's really interesting. There's a real sense of really sparkling kind of magic. Look, the moon feels very much like dealing with a wound, as I said earlier. And it's like a sparkling new energy that's coming in to try and lift and elevate. It's like we're being asked to choose between the balance. We've got to bring into balance love and fear. Because there's an awful lot of fear being pushed out in that Neptunian clouding way. And Neptune is not the kind of guy that goes in and helps people to see through the dark. That's not Neptune's usual energy. You've got to do something to find your way to Neptune, and then you'll see everything. So, you know, Neptune loves to create delusion and mists and confusion and fog. So the moon, please. What's the moon want to add to this upper world magic that's opening like an old... It's like I'm getting this sense that the energy, that this is us, this is everyone. We're all a sorcerer. We've all got source as well. I know it's spelled differently, but we've all got source energy within us. But we've also all got this, and I want to say this energy of this magician is all things. It's not a benevolent magician, it's not an evil magician. It knows the whole scale from either end. This is asking us to remember that part of the magician is raw masculine energy coming from position number one. And there is this sense at the moment that we're supposed to somehow be working on our masculine energies to connect to the earth with our molecules. You know, the divine feminine's here. And we're now retuning somehow our masculine frequencies, which is really interesting. So, the moon, what else would you like to see? I haven't said anything yet. Because I've said everything. Right, so... Look, it's a six of inspiration. It's a sense of victory. We're being offered a sense of victory, a balance to bring that fiery energy in, to have healing. There's a huge healing. She's wearing, she's kind of, you know, it's like I'm seeing Hierophantrix energy when the divine feminine and the divine masculine come together. Because she's got the black cape of this darkness that once was, and she's looking in a new direction now. She's healed, she's moving forwards, but she's still wearing her shadows. She's still got them with her. That's her true victory, is to be at one with them. Anything else, Moon, that you'd like to say? So the next thing is, the card sat down and it's shifted on the flow card as if it's asking for an adjustment flow. Oh, that's really interesting. Four of emotions. So it's the energy of water being blocked and having to funnel through, and it's not able to connect properly because somehow these are representing mirror images of ourselves in terms of divine masculine, divine feminine coming together. We've almost got to bring it together, and then the flow will come in, and it's almost there. You know, there's the promise just between as the divine masculine and feminine come together. So this really is about that Libra balance energy. So let's move on to the sun. What's the sun bringing to this full moon equation, please? What's the sun bringing? What is the sun bringing? What is the sun bringing? Oh, sun's bringing exercise, bending, reaching down to the ground. All three Moonology. Oh, it's so far away. Well, it's interesting. It's a cardinal moon, the first card, and Libra is a cardinal sign. So we are on a cardinal move. Be bold and make the first move. Be bold and make the first move towards new moon in Cancer. You and your loved ones are safe. But what I'm getting from these two cards is you've got to make the move towards Neptune. You've got to make the effort to connect the dots in your own life to try and work with this energy and reform this energy. And then you have full moon in Leo, so a very fiery sign. So it's somehow, the energy I'm getting is that you have to use the cardinal balancing energy to find some kind of balance between fire and water. The sun is talking about fire and water, so that's a sense of passionate emotions, bringing, they're saying to me, it's like looking at something that is a fiery emotion that would rise up in you and make you want to be furious and somehow find the balance in it. You've got to make the move to correct this energy so that this energy from far back of the magic, the ancient magic, can start to reconnect with you. So let's go to the Muse. What would you like to say about the sunshine? Oh, look, I just saw the Hierophantrix. So, oh, there she is. So this is about coming into a balance. Look, there's something very much about worship, hero worship. I am getting that sense that we all need to hero worship Neptune. So we need to build an aspect of going to visit a temple in a meditation, and it can be wherever you want. It can be under the water, it can be on an island, but build a temple where you can worship Neptune and form Neptune and let Neptune be a statue that comes to life to communicate with you, and then find all those aspects that you see as Neptune, search for those aspects inside you. So there's this hero worship, but it's saying that this and this are actually all the same energy when you're balanced between your divine masculine and your divine feminine. Oh my goodness, look, and then we've got the 10 of emotions with it. So we're really talking about connecting, balancing all our emotional language, but it's about balancing the fiery emotions with the sort of balancing them into a calm so that you can think about them, you can experience them in your body without that additional frequency of rage behind it, but it's a sense of reaching a balancing point. It's very much about witnessing the extremes of the energy, and this will give you Hanged Muse. It will give you a new perspective that just feels so joyous, so full of energy, so full of life, so full of movement. And seeing everything's upside down. There's a real magical vision change. Sorry, that drill's just drawn my attention. So next, let's ask, what's Venus bringing to this full moon? 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 Two cards. So we have the journey and we have the waxing moon. The energy is gaining momentum. The frequency I'm getting from this is, okay, so 11. They want me to just point out that there was the big stellium on the 11th of February. The Pisces stellium was there on the 11th of March. And the Aries one is on the 11th of April. It begins on the 10th, but it's still there on the 11th. They really have been going on about this 11, 11, 11 being a real stretching reset. And that's the energy that's gaining momentum. It's the journey forwards. And so this, you know, mournful state is not the state that moves the energy forwards. Venus really wants you to experience that sense of, I wanted to say wistfulness, but there's a maudlinness too. It's about just letting go. The past is past, so that's just history. The direction, the future, you haven't got to yet, so that's what you just can dream it into being, and that's very Neptunian. But the now, how we function in the now with the moon, being in tune with that moment, is what delivers you the energy tuning to build your dream. So, Venus, 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 would you please tell us what else you'd like to say? Curious about that card that turned. I'm not taking it, but it turned and jumped in. Queen of Materials. So Venus, what's going on, Venus? What's going on, Venus? What's going on, Venus? Another one that's jumped and hasn't come out is the Lovers, co-creation, very Venusian. So Venus, what would you like to tell us, please? What would you like to tell us about this journey that you want us to take without the wistful, maudlin energies of the past? What else would you like to say, please? What else would you like to say? Oh, that's a lot. So, oh look, she came out. Queen of Materials, she wanted out. In fact, Queen of Materials, Four of Materials, I'm getting this sense of some kind of, and I'm talking monetary switching going on of some kind. There's an energy of transformation around around other people's money in many ways. There's something, you know, Venus, there's something about, well, let's see what the next cards are. I want to say there's some kind of energy about the stock exchange, which I don't usually pick up with this kind of thing, but I'm really getting that. There's like a kind of, the Queen of Materials is like a bursting forth of energy, and then the Four of Materials is giving me that sense of being completely unnourished, and how all the abundance has just kind of been sucked away, and she's still trying to appear in her full glamorous self, but somehow this energy of her shadows is not part of her frequency. She's only displaying this sense of you know, the light, the joy, but they're distortions, but only showing a face that she wants you to see. It's a superficiality, that's what it is. And it's an unnourished energy, and there's something about that energy collapsing down. So, where have we got? Here. Now, I've put these cards down, and it's interesting. I'm now just going to flick them the other way because I don't know which way around they should have come out. Yeah, I had them the wrong way. So, the energy that Venus is bringing is this choice. This is pre-Libra balancing energy. Remember, Venus rules Libra, so Venus is really quite comfortable with the moon. And there is this sense of bringing order and releasing the puppets, letting go of the chains that tie us. Venus is trying to encourage us to see the distorted energy that's spinning around and just cut through and let the energy go, because this devil is followed by Page of Inspiration, which is that energy. I mean, I'm seeing this, I've never seen it before, but it's like this is the energy that Neptune is offering, the endless, many-pathed possibilities towards the beauty way. Actually, there's something about the notion of this rock being built into this temple, this place of Neptune. You've really got to connect with that notion of building a temple in your sacred city where you visit alone a Neptune, a place to visit Neptune. I mean, eventually you'll have to do it with all kinds of planets, but at the moment, focus on Neptune. What's this inspiration and bringing balance to this swirling Capricorn energy? It's bringing a reset. It's bringing and I want to say, because of in terms of this, there's something about bringing a financial reset, but also bringing a new world reset, coming out of portals. These are very much like bubbles, and they've been referring to us in our homes, you know, as having little social bubbles where you can go out and meet so many people. But there's something about returning out of that energy, and that's the awakening. It's a heart chakra awakening. It's a higher consciousness to reach out, to reach across the whole of time and space almost, because that's this energy of Venus and the moon, you know, in their opposites. So where next is Chiron. You see, this is where I think it's going to get interesting, because this is the wound. So, oh, I don't want those. That was a... And I'm not looking at them. You can tell me off in the comments. I need to get the energy of Chiron into my shuffling hands. So Chiron, Centaur. You know, Chiron has links obviously to Sagittarius. I just need to look at those. It was a fiery climax is approaching, and the rattle. But I know it's not that, because they said pause and do this. So Chiron, like Sagittarius, is a centaur, but Chiron, unlike Sagittarius, has 2 human legs at the front. So all other centaurs have 4 horses' legs, or centaurs' legs, but Chiron has human front and then horse from backwards. So I was just going to say, it's given 2 mystical shaman cards, so I was like, it's got nothing, obviously Chiron's not talking to the moon at all, and what's the first card? The moon. So the aspect somehow of Chiron with this moon is multifaceted, many-pathed, 1,000-petaled lotus. There are so many ways through this frequency, but it has to be yours. You're just allowing yourself to observe the energies in the greater cosmos and how they affect you. So we've got the moon, and it's 37 and 38. So we're talking about moving on numerologically in order, and it's the mystical shaman. So we've got the moon and the mystical shaman again here. There's something about gases. Neptune, the wound. I feel like there's something going on to clean up the air somehow, but it feels, first of all, like it will almost feel as though it's becoming more toxic somehow before it changes, because there's something about breathing in and being like, because you know, we've had that sense of being masked and not being able to breathe deeply is almost adding to the divine masculine fog. The divine masculine energy in our molecules is struggling to tune itself to these new energies. So this really is that sense. I mean, Venus was bringing absolute kind of goddess energy into our world of abundance and the financial world of abundance, but we're now back on that sense of the divine masculine, clearly with Chiron. So what's Chiron saying? Mystical Shaman is very much an energy of Neptune, because Neptune is the mystic. It's a great movement if you ever want to listen to it in the Planet Suite, because at the end, it was written in like 1921 or something, and at the very end, people would never have heard this piece before, and it describes all the different planets in the cosmos, and it ends in Neptune, and then suddenly you keep hearing this noise, and it's a 6-part female choir representing all the mermaids and sirens who sing underneath the orchestra, and you're looking around thinking, where is that mysterious sound coming from? And then the orchestra finishes and the mermaids just get caught in a repeating phrase over and over again. And it says in the score, slowly close the door to the place where they're singing from so that the sound just fades away. So in terms of a piece of music, it's a rare piece of music that creates a discomfort for an audience because they're never sure when to clap. Because if you clap too early, you're kind of admitting that that's where your hearing stopped hearing, and for other people they can still sense that energy and they're still going with it. Just don't know why that came up. So Muse of emotions, Chiron is trying to balance wounds, emotional wounds, to regenerate them. Chiron. Oh look, healing, Chiron the healer, the wounded healer has got the star, and this is bringing in that frequency of the Aquarius stellium energy again. Really, it seems like Chiron's really the strong one within this formation. It's more like this is the inner work. So Chiron, what else do you want to say, Chiron? What else do you want to say, Chiron? Right, so we've got the Four of Inspiration and the Knight of Materials. So the frequency I'm getting from this is this quartet. It's 4 women here, but it's talking about the aspect. This healing doesn't take place unless you can tune yourself into the mood. So the phone ran out, so I've just had to go and recharge it to come back. I was talking about this quartet, but I'll be honest, the energy of the readings now slipped from me, so I'm just going to finish explaining these to end the reading. This is the 4 planets, the Sun, the Moon, Venus and Chiron, all coming together, working together at this point with Neptune in the background to release us, to allow us to run free into the world. This is Knight of Materials coming into the world with this wonderful new, I want to say it's like a succulent new mandala that's opened up behind you. Oh, it's this. It's echoing the beauty way. Your beauty way begins in your imagination, but your imagination has to connect through to your heart and down to your sacral. So somehow working together with these. So I need to kind of explain. The moon is your third eye, and we've got the rose sensing that energy there, an unfolding of the third eye. The crown is this chakra energy that's coming down, this new, the planets working together, bringing this energy down. The sun is your solar plexus, and that's very much don't let pride get in your way, but be confident, that energy of very fiery Leo frequency. Venus is the heart chakra, and we've got that message in there about awakening the heart. And Chiron is very much about the nervous system. And I want to say, think of that kind of nervousness that you get within horses when they just want to run away. So there's something about wanting to remind you, don't run from this, face it. It's a really beautiful energy that's unfolding. and it will bring you huge new excitement. You see, I really want to just pull one more card just to ask what's the quartet up to. Let's just see if I can find that frequency, because I just don't, it feels like it's all vanished. Might you tell us what the quartet are up to and what that means to each of us? What are the oh no, that's not comfortable. This is what I mean. It's like I've slipped out of the zone waiting for the phone to recharge, and I just need to be honest with you. If we get a good message, we'll read it. If we get a crap card, I'll just say bye. There we go, there's the card. What are they up to? Standing still. You've got to heal. We still haven't healed. We're still holding on all the time to the frequency of the fear, the nervousness, the running away energy. So B flat, A sharp is Chiron, you know, mind and the nervous system, how it connects into all the other energies, how we connect in, how we heal. But you've got to have a meditation with Neptune in your sacred city. Build a temple and go there. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here because I need to go for a walk, get some energy in my body. Have a beautiful day, and Wassail, you're all so very, very, very beautiful. Bye.